Yo, what up, everybody? It's Blessed Mindset. We about to react to this Piers Morgan video. Your boy just woke up, just got some food. I'm about to be just sitting here chomping. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna see what this debate turn into. You know what I'm saying? So tune in.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
That's so brave.
Celebrities, you are more than welcome to have an opinion, but you can't be a hypocrite. If you stand on the stage like Billie Eilish and you talk about stolen land, you best be ready to give up your land. In that case, kindly shut up.
You benefit from proximity to whiteness, but you don't want to acknowledge all the issues that your people are creating in our country and for the world right now.
Wait, whoa. Sorry, proximity to whiteness is now a problem.
There is one big story brewing, and that is Bad Bunny. Is the malevolent rabbit gonna do what he's told to do and just sing, or is he gonna cause a ruckus?
For a while, it felt like the era of celebrities in politics was over, from Hillary Clinton's toe-curling mannequin challenge to a Harris campaign, which fronted millions on purchasing celebrity love. The message was loud and clear. We don't really care what any of you think. Unfortunately, like zombies descending from the Hollywood hills, these celebrity preachers are back, and whether you agree with them or not, recent history teaches us they're not going to change anybody's minds. That's why Bill Maher, who's certainly no fan of Donald Trump, used his show last week to tell them to shut up.
In a country where the big issue now is affordability, outside of, I don't know, Springsteen and a few others, celebrities don't strike people as relatable or in touch. And what their activism mostly activates is eye rolls.
Well, they're not listening, just as people are generally not listening to Bruce Springsteen's anti-ICE protest song, and many people would rather they hadn't listened to this anti-ICE poem read by Peter Dinklage.
Ice wheels flinched and froze. Now, bare riot of candles, dark fury of flowers, pure howling of hymns. If for us she arose, somewhere in the pitch deep of our grief.
And on the subject of not listening, this week's Tone Deaf Award must surely go to Billie Eilish, a supremely talented singer, but who had stars at the Grammys clapping like seals for her pretty ludicrous claim that there are no illegal immigrants in America because all of the land is stolen. Now, we can't show you the original clip for reasons to do with propriety of the clip, but this AI rendition has captured the essence of the moment.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Oh my God, she's so brave. That's so brave.
First, I'm joined by the best-selling author and host of No Spin News, Bill O'Reilly. Bill, welcome back.
Shout out to Bill O'Reilly. I heard about him. I don't really know about him for real. We're gonna skip that, get straight to the debate for real.
You worry that the culture is again mobilizing against him. Let's hear what my panel has to say about all this and more. Emily Austin, journalist and commentator. Tommy Lahren, host of Fearless on Outkick. Jason Lee, CEO of Hollywood Unlocked. And Keith Edwards, host of The Keith Edwards Show. Well, welcome to all of you. Emily Austin, you were at the Grammys and you went viral for a genuinely laugh-out-loud clip of you and your friend reacting in real time to what you were hearing on stage. Let's take a look.
Protesting, and our voices really do matter, and people matter, and fuck ICE is all I want to say.
Oh, she was at the Grammys, guys.
I'm so edgy. I said fuck ICE. Oh my God.
Now, full disclosure, Miss Eilish and I share the same Hollywood hairdresser, which has worked out rather better for her than me. He's a lovely guy and he's a brilliant hairdresser. But I have to say, next time I see him, I will be pointing out that what she said there was obviously ridiculous. But it's interesting to me, Emily, after a few award shows where celebrities kind of got the let's leave the politics out of this memo, they're now back with a vengeance. ICE has been the catalyst for this. We didn't hear anything about Iran, for example, and the heroic protesters or anything like that. It was all ICE, ICE, ICE. You were there. What was the mood in the room like?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me, and I'm so happy you look like you're feeling great and not up and moving around just yet, but at least your mouth still works. That was
You know
my
what?
mother.
My mouth works, and I do a job that involves sitting here staring at a camera, as most of us do. So thank God for my job.
Oh, always good to see you. But my mother was the woman sitting next to me in the video, and it's so funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was your younger sister.
It's a compliment to her, but the party of love and kindness and inclusivity has been the first group to attack her on her appearance, on her parenting choices. Personally speaking, I think she did a phenomenal job. But the mood in the room was, everyone was elated. It's basically a free concert for those who were invited. It's a big party. People are singing, dancing. And then every time there's a political rant, let's just call it, political nonsense, everyone kind of forcefully stands besides myself because I'm not a sheep. But you could tell that there's just this fatigue. And contrary to what you just said in the intro, I don't think Trump is worried. I don't think anyone's worried, because if one thing completely dismissed of all of Hollywood's opinion, it was this past election. Kamala had every Diddy party guest, every single celebrity in the world that endorsed her, and clearly it didn't work. She had Megan Thee Stallion, Taylor Swift, you name it, they endorsed Kamala, yet Donald Trump won not by a small margin, but by a landslide in this election. So celebrity opinions don't count. Now, personally speaking, I love music, I love theater, I love the arts. And coming to this event, I was so happy to just be there and be present. And I don't take their opinions seriously. Nobody else does either, but it's just so annoying that they speak on something that A, they don't believe in, or B, they don't put their money where their mouth is. But, at least I can reassure you, a lot of celebrities did in fact come up to me. They were like, we love your bag, we're so proud of you. And I'm like, why don't you speak up?
Chat, we about to go ahead and speed this up.
And they're like, of course we can't. We work in the music industry. Our artists won't work with us. And I told you, do you really believe that the artists feel that way? And a lot of the music executives were like, actually, no, they're doing it because their publicist said it's the right thing to do. Or a very woke friend was chirping in their ear, and it doesn't make a difference to them. It's very harmless to them.
Excuse me.
Tommy Lehrin, welcome back to Uncensored. It's been way too long. I've missed you. I know you're incredibly busy and successful now, and we often cross over when we're doing our own stuff. So it's great to have you back. I know we've got a slight delay, I think, with you down the line. So I'll preface my question carefully. It's since emerged that Billie Eilish's own massive mansion in California is built on Native American land. And the Sinai law firm in LA has reportedly written up a 30-day notice of eviction and is ready to serve her. So words can have consequences. What did you make of this?
Yeah, again, this whole notion that we exist on stolen land. I mean, either borders are imaginary or this is stolen land. You can't have it both ways, Piers. But it doesn't matter to these celebrities because there's never any cost to anything that they do on that stage. There's no social cost because everybody in the room is clapping like sheeps. They all share a brain. There's never any real monetary cost. Yeah, sometimes they donate to a cause, but that's a tax write-off. They don't compromise their security, their private jets, their lifestyle, their mansions, their property, their friendships. They compromise and sacrifice nothing. They stand on the stage and they deliver these messages because it makes them feel like they've done something without actually having to do anything at all. And they all stand in the room and they all clap for one another. And meanwhile, everyday Americans, everyday global citizens are looking at them like the dumbasses that they are because we know that they're hypocrites. Listen, celebrities, athletes, public figures, you are more than welcome to have an opinion. We're all welcome to have an opinion and to share it, but you can't be a hypocrite. If you stand on the stage like Billie Eilish and her weirdo brother, Phineas Ferb, whatever his name is, and you talk about stolen land, you best be ready to give up your land. And I believe up until this moment, I haven't heard anything from the Eilish camp about ceding their land to the Native Americans. So in that case, kindly shut up.
All right, Jason Lee, they're all a bunch of shameless hypocrites who don't know what they're talking about. And if they really believe in the stolen land theory, then they should be giving their mansions back.
Well, I'm not going to argue what these people do with their mansions, but a couple of things that you said, that people are tired of what celebrities are talking about. Donald Trump is a celebrity, in case we forgot that. He's a celebrity that used his celebrity to become president. And his movement, Make America Great Again, is really about making America racist again. If you want to talk about stolen land and just ignore what happened to the Native Americans, ignore what happened to black people in our country, to do that would be siding with the oppressors. And I will tell you, I'm not one to say that celebrities should matter, but this is the same president that just used Nicki Minaj to come from her home in Calabasas that was on its way to foreclosure or her being evicted, to come to an event to propel whatever message he wanted to get out there in front of the Epstein files. We have a president right now who throws Christianity, who uses every weapon of mass distraction in order to make the American people in the world forget the fact that he was hanging on a jet with Jeffrey Epstein, sitting over there on the island, and all the documents that have been released show that all the pedo sympathizers, even on this show, defending Donald Trump, have a lot that they don't want to be accountable for. So I'm not gonna, be distracted by the narrative that Bad Bunny talking about out ICE is some way more important than the fact that most of us have sat by and watched a genocide in Gaza and have sided with a pedophile.
Sir, do you own a home?
Okay, well, that's...
Sheesh. This man's views is pretty extreme.
Hey, there's somebody else waiting to talk. We can get into questions later because I'm ready for whatever you
No,
want.
actually, it's a good question. It's a good question.
What was the question?
Do you own private property in the United States?
What I own has nothing to do. It's almost as relevant as you sitting in the Grammys singing along to all the artists and using a moment to go get clout for the world to see you. I don't know.
So you don't want to answer the question? Classic liberal response.
It doesn't matter.
I'm sure you own a home, and I'm sure you did not check if a Native American had previously owned the land.
Slavery is
and you
over.
are part of the Billie Eilish
Slavery is over,
that will
and
say
you
that
don't
there's no
control
illegals
what I
on
do.
stolen land,
But you know
live
what?
in the
Let's talk
stolen
about
land.
the.
You live on
Let's talk about
stolen
the fact
land.
that immigrants look like you. Wait, but let's talk about the fact that immigrants look like you, right? Let's talk about Renee Good. Let's talk about Renee. Well, you look like a.
Bro, what is this argument about? Like, they arguing about stupid stuff.
You look like a white woman. You look like a white woman. And Renee Good was shot in the face. Alex Preddy was shot and killed. Listen, just listen. Your proximity to whiteness, is jumping off the screen, and so you benefit from proximity to whiteness, but you don't want to acknowledge all the issues that your people are creating in our country and for the world.
Sorry, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Whoa.
Go ahead, Piers.
Proximity to whiteness is now a problem.
No, I'm not saying it's a problem. Listen, I want to make America great again. I just don't know when it was great and for what people. I think this is make America racist again. I mean, Piers, in our country, you'd be considered an immigrant. Until they started shooting white people in broad daylight, this wasn't as big of an issue as it is right now. So let's just be honest about that.
Well, I am. I'm considered, actually, for the record, an exceptional alien. That is my immigration status to the United States. I get a new visa every 3 years on average, and my exact, precise, the way they describe me on my visa is a exceptional alien. Now, I could get all upset about that. I don't think I'm an alien. I think I'm a human being. But I quite like the word exceptional, so I let it ride. But I'm curious that you would attack Emily for her proximity to whiteness. In other words, she's not completely white, but she looks kind of white, so therefore, doesn't fly.
I mean, she looks like a white woman to me. I'm not attacking her. I'm addressing her. I think there's a difference.
But imagine if I said to you, Jason, imagine if I said to you, Jason Lee, you're kind of black, but it's more a proximity to blackness.
I get that, but I get that from white people all the time. My mother's Italian, my father's black. I get that I'm Dominican. I really don't care what people think my proximity is to, and I'm not sensitive.
You know what you'd call me if I said that?
Personal if anybody
you would
wants to
call me a racist if I said that, and you know it.
No, Piers, unlike some people that look like me, I actually think you're exceptional, and I love that you can put it out there and own it and stand in it like I can, and like everybody, like Tommy can, right? And so, my opinion about her is her opinion about Bad Bunny. We're all here to share our opinions, and I just stand in mine.
I love Bad Bunny. And I'm very confused
well, that's
why
it.
you're
Well,
playing identity politics.
I hate these type of arguments because it's like, what is the argument truly about? Like, it's not even about, like, the ideas behind racism and stuff. It's kind of like, it's personal. Like, you look like a white woman. Like, and it's like, so what? Like, what's the argument?
Yeah, so am I. But let's come to Keith, who's been waiting patiently. Bad Bunny is going to be the big figure at the Super Bowl. He is the halftime show. He's obviously seized the Grammys and made a big political statement. He's entitled to do it. But I think if he pulls that stunt at the halftime show, there's going to be massive repercussions. Would he be wise to just focus now on the music?
Well, I think, first off, Emily, I have to applaud you. I'm so impressed by your bravery, wearing an American flag purse at the Grammys. I salute you. It's Rosa Parks, MLK Jr., and Emily Austin, the civil rights leaders of our time. I can't believe you were able to survive that. Secondly,
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but thank you.
You're welcome. No, I'm very serious. It's a serious thing you put yourself through. And secondly, I have to say that I don't frankly care what celebrities say. I think they're actually a reflection of our culture. And so they're just mirroring back what a majority of Americans think and feel, that is ICE is out of control.
I feel like he's being
what ICE is doing
sarcastic.
is un-American, and ICE needs to be either abolished or deeply, deeply, deeply changed. And so I think that those artists
Keith,
too.
Keith, did you feel that way when Barack Obama was breaking all deportation records?
Hey, I predict what he was about to say. He was about to say the Obama thing.
Well, that's a different Well, what do you know? Do you know why those deportation records
That's
are
different. Why is it different when he's doing it?
Well, it's different because the way that they classify deportations is that they actually turn people away at the border, which is what Obama was doing.
No, Obama deported. No, Obama deported
yes,
over 3 million people.
how they count those how they count that a deportation counts is when they actually stop someone at the border and tell them to go back. So that is considered a deportation. So that's where that number comes from. Now, what has happened with Trump is that fewer people are actually going to the border, but what Trump is doing is he actually is doing this insane thing we're all seeing with our own eyes that is on film, which is people are being brought out of their house, many of whom are citizens without any warrant. And I think that is what most people are upset about. And by the way, yes, American citizens are being executed in the street. So if you are for that, then I think that's good, Emily. I think that's good, Tommy. I'm not. I'm glad that there are actually some important, powerful people who are saying that this needs to stop. I wish the billionaires,
we got to stop bringing up the extreme examples. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to understand there's always going to be the exception to the rule. There's always going to be, ICE officers that's going to be doing bad and stuff like that. You know, we just got to accept it. But to make it like it's all, like that's all that's happening is just insane.
The CEOs, I wish the people who, as you said, the music executives were on our side, but I'm glad at least some people with a little bit of power are speaking up for those who cannot speak for themselves.
All right, let me come back to Tommy Laren. Tommy, linked to this, we've had the spectacle of the resurrection of Don Lemon as the Martin Luther King of journalism. I got to say, the moment I heard Don Lemon had been arrested in Hollywood, I was like, Donald Trump, what are you doing? Why are you giving this guy the thing he's dreamed about his entire life and the thing he most desperately needs right now in his career, which is giving him the national stage to play the martyr, which is exactly what he's done. And fair play to Lemon, he's done it. But we're all in our way, I guess, we're media people, journalists and so on. I felt uncomfortable seeing him get arrested. I felt it was an overreach. I think you've got to draw a line between people who are protesting and maybe breaking laws and journalists reporting on it. Whatever you think of the journalist and whether you even think they are behaving like proper journalists, he identifies as a journalist. He was reporting on it for his show and so on. Did you feel comfortable seeing him arrested? Do you think that was the right precedent to set?
Well, Piers, I got to be real honest with you. I could not care less what happens to Don Lemon, if he's arrested, if he's not. I don't care what he does. I don't care where he's at. I shed not one tear for him. I lose not one wink of sleep for Don Lemon. And you're exactly right. This is what he wanted. He wanted to be a martyr. He wanted to get his moment, and he got it. But I think what's more important here is the precedent that it's set, because we're seeing these agitators in the streets of Minneapolis, LA, and elsewhere out there impeding law enforcement and actually terrorizing communities. In Minneapolis, they have checkpoints where they're checking people's identification. Isn't that ironic? So they can go into certain parts of the city.
Yeah, I don't think he should have been arrested, but I definitely think that he was being rude, you know what I'm saying, because he was with those protesters that was barging into the church and stuff like that, bro. They got a right to pray, bro. Let them pray. Now, the other people that was barging in and trespassing, man, they should be arrested. But then again, it's a weird thing because it's like technically he trespassed, but he wasn't in there doing the protesting, I heard. Somebody fact check me on this, But I heard he wasn't doing the protesting. He was there journaling it. So I don't know how the laws is when it comes down to journaling, like Piers said, but the guys that's like trespassing, those guys definitely should have got arrested. I don't know about Don Lemon, though. I don't think Don Lemon should have.
And they're not allowing those who are federal agents or look like federal agents to enter certain parts of Minneapolis. So it's all ludicrous and ridiculous, and a precedent needs to be set that you're not going to be able to do this. You don't own America. You have no authority. You can't go impede law enforcement. You can't go and protest violently. You can't get in the middle of an arrest or a detention. That's not legal. If you want to stand on the side of the road with your dumbass sign and your nose ring and your BO and talk about how you hate ICE, you are more than willing and capable and able to do that. That's your constitutional right. But you're not able to impede law enforcement, and you can't go busting into a church service, by the way, and disrupting a church service, making people fear for their life. That has gone too far. So the precedent needed to be set. I don't care what happens to Don Lemon. Do I really think he's going to pay a consequence? No. But I think that there needs to be a precedent set for these individuals who want to go out there and actually terrorize communities, that you're not going to get away with it under this DOJ.
Why should a precedent be set?
Terrorize is wild.
Hang on one second. It's
a strong word.
And Tommy, should Bad Bunny be allowed to perform in the halftime show, given how political he made his performance at the Grammys? Because the halftime show at the Super Bowl is supposed to be a great unifying moment for the United States. Over 100 million people watching, all the families watching, from blue states, from red states. It's kind of the one thing of the year where America, it seems to me, as an outsider, when I've been there, comes together and is genuinely unified, watching the game, watching the entertainment. If in advance the halftime act has come out and been so overtly political, whether you agree with him or not, should he be allowed to be the halftime show?
Well, allowed to be. Listen, if the NFL made their choice and that's their business decision, then that's their business decision. I'm not one to tell, private companies what they can and cannot do. If that's who they want, that's who they want. I don't think it's a good choice. I don't think someone singing in front of an American audience or rapping in front of an American audience that, doesn't speak Spanish in Spanish, I don't think that's a great idea. But the NFL decided that they care more about Hispanic and Latino viewers, and that was their business decision. I don't think it's a great one, and we'll find out if it is or not. But the NFL made this choice a long time ago with Colin Kaepernick and the rest of it. They decided they want to go woke, that they want to prioritize activism over viewers and over the American people coming together for sport. So that's what they decided they wanted to do. Will it pan out? I'm not so sure it will, but I would also add this in terms of being controversial. Bad Bunny is a mega star. I'm not going to dispute that. He's got, hundreds of millions of listeners and fans, and I get that they want to try to attract a Latino audience to the Super Bowl. That's fine. That's their business decision. But this whole thing about him being controversial, there are other celebrities and stars that have huge followings that are also controversial, but the NFL would never go there. For example, Morgan Wallen, huge star, right? But the NFL would never choose Morgan Wallen as their halftime performer because he said the N-word a few years ago, and that would have been a big outcry. So it's never applied evenly. If the NFL wants to do it, go for it. I won't be watching, but I do think the hypocrisy is pretty thick.
Right, Jason Lee, I want to turn to the Melania documentary, which has been widely savaged by critics in, let's be honest, liberal-skewed mainstream media, but has proven to be a massive box office hit, the most successful launch of any documentary theatrically in 10 years, giving Melania the last laugh. Again, it's a very polarizing thing. I watched it and enjoyed it. I know Melania quite well. I've known her a long time. I thought it was an interesting behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to be First Lady over a 20-day period. Interesting watching the juggling of private and public life and so on. And some of the reviews were just plain vicious, savage, nasty because people hate Trump, hate her husband. Isn't this part of the problem that we have with the media, where almost all the mainstream media reviews were savage, and yet a lot of people in Middle America went and watched it and enjoyed it?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Shout out to Melania. She's the most famous immigrant in our country right now. I haven't watched any of her work since she did the Tastefully Nude shoot or soft porn, whatever that thing was that she did before she became First Lady. The fact that we have an immigrant in the White House married to the president that's attacking immigrants who happen to look like me is hysterical. It's
such a straw man what he's talking about, bro. He's straw man in the position so hard. He's like, oh yeah, since there is a legal, he's married to an immigrant in the White House. He's living in a contradiction by deporting a bunch of immigrants. Like, it's a collector gagger going on here. Like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? There's a difference between legal and illegal immigrants. Jason Lee. Come on, bro. And he knows it in the back of his head. He knows it, bro. He's mad, bro. It's like when people are like bitter and resentful, they can't think, bro. They have no choice but to be angry, bro. Like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, bro?
I didn't interrupt you. I'm sorry. Let me go back to something you said about Don Lemon because he's a friend and I was with him.
Well, hang on. Hang on, Jason. To one point, as Emily said, whereas either Donald, hang on. Whereas Donald or Melania Trump attacked immigrants, from what I've seen, they've attacked illegal immigrants. And Melania made the point she did everything legally. She did it the right way. And like millions of Americans who came in legally into the country and did everything the right way, she's entitled to feel pretty pissed when people just float in over an open border.
We can't erase history. We've seen legal immigrants in our country separated from their families. We've seen people here legally sent to countries that they haven't lived in. So we're not going to act like that didn't happen, just like we're not going to erase slavery, just like we're not going to erase what happened to the Native Americans. History does still matter in this country, even if you take it out of the school system. Now, I know that the fragility of the people that you have booked here with me today keep hemming and hawing and moaning because they can't handle the truth. Maybe it's not in their script, and maybe it's not in the Bible that they continue to use and prop up as a way to defend their behavior. But let's be very clear. Listen, white girl, I'm talking to you now. You can just calm
Man,
down.
she just she about to have this nigga going on a rant, bro, because she had to say that, bro. She ain't had to say that, bro.
She's not white.
You, and you can keep.
She's not white. She has a proximity to whiteness.
The voices of people
Start this nigga up, man.
Piers, I said what she is. She can say what she is. She can cry in the car about it. Do another video that goes viral. At the end of the day, what we're talking about in this country is a lack of compassion. When we talk about, the Pledge of Allegiance, justice for all, that means all people. Bad Bunny is an American. He had to remind you that Puerto Rico is a part of the United States, even though you want to lump them in with all the illegals that climbed the gate down in Mexico. And let's be very clear, immigrants look like all of us, And so why are we only focused on black and brown? I didn't see Bad Bunny say I'm performing at the...
He's trying to make it such a race thing, bro. Like, he's like, oh yeah, immigrants look like all of us, bro. Therefore, they shouldn't be deported. Like, what? They're getting deported because they're illegal, Jason. Illegal. We don't have no documentation for these people, Jason. You're strawman in the position so intensely, bro. It's not looking good for you right now, bro. It's not looking good.
Halftime show because I want a bunch of Mexicans to pull up, and I didn't hear the NFL say that. I've seen Jay-Z integrate culture, diverse culture, into the Super Bowl. We saw Jennifer Lopez and Shakira make a very political statement about when they had dancers in cages at that time during their performance.
Let me bring in the others. Let me bring in Emily. Emily, your response.
I'm still waiting for the punchline because you started with something and then you went to something else. I am, according to you, a white girl. I love Bad Bunny, so I'm not really sure what your point is. You keep calling people white as if it's a bad thing. You keep saying America is a place for only white people, yet you are here. With all due respect, if you're on this show, you must be slightly successful. You said you are part black. I'm not sure what your background is because I judge by merit. I'm not part of the DEI clan that judge people by their race or ethnicity. I care about two things. If you are legal in this country, then you are a citizen. I don't care from where you come from, as long as you do it the right way. Both my parents came to Ellis Island and did things the right way. So I don't think it's fair when people just illegally cross the border, cutting the line, and then reap the benefits of American citizens. And number two, I don't care what your skin color is or your ethnicity or your religion. I care that you're a good, kind person and that you're not indulging in these identity politics and trying to play the victim. And you, sir, are a hypocrite because I'm sure you live in a home.
You literally are an identity conflict sitting right here on the screen. Listen, I know more of who I am than you appear to know who you are. I haven't seen your parents' paperwork. I haven't seen your parents' paperwork. How do I know that your parents came here legally? Everything that you said on the show.
Haven't seen your parents' paperwork.
We're running out of time. Okay, time out. We're running out of time. I want to win with two things. One for Keith and one for Tommy. Keith, Christopher Nolan has cast Helena Troy in The Odyssey with a black actress, Lupita Nyong'o. Elon Musk says Chris Nolan's lost his integrity. And this is the on-running thing, right? Which is, if you made a movie, a dramatized movie about Nelson Mandela or Martin
Kardashian, she crushed.
Kim Kardashian dating Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Who's that? So Lewis Hamilton. Kardashian. Sir. Bro, who is she dating? Who is Lewis Hamilton? Bro, who is Lewis Hamilton? I merged her to Lewis Hamilton. Bro, who is Lewis Hamilton? Who is this nigga? Who the hell is this nigga? Oh, this nigga's a race car driver. Yeah, I don't know nothing about no race cars, man.
Hey, listen, I think Kim Kardashian, she crushes it. I know there are a lot of people that have issues with the Kardashians, but they are the best business people, certainly of my generation and of my time. So you know what? She's gone through pretty much everybody. She had to be married to Kanye West for I don't know how long, right? She's got to deal with that day in and day out. So if this is what makes her happy, I say go for it. I love the family. I think they're kick-ass business women. So I say, Kim, it's your time. Go for it. You didn't pass the bar, but you're on to the next. And I say, go for it.
You know the problem, Tommy, is I'm here in the UK right now. We're looking at a track record of high-profile British men who end up with American women, right? Let's think about King Edward VIII and Wallis Simpson. Let's think about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Let's think about Brooklyn Beckham and Nicole Peltz.
I don't know these people.
There's not a great record here. There is a firm lesson, surely, that this doesn't work. That's my concern. Now, I happen to love you and love Emily, but the track record of you American women pairing up with high-profile British guys, it's horrendous.
Well, I reassure you, I probably won't end up with a high-class.
Well, listen, Piers, I think that this is our revenge.
It may well be the revenge, but we'll see how it plays out. Actually, Lewis Hamilton's a great guy. Two things about him, which I really...
All right, guys, I think that video's all finished, man. This man, Jason Lee, he was kind of straw manning, but Emily right here, she was definitely egging him on, bro, and making him spaz out too, bro. And it's like, have the civil discussion, have a debate, y'all sitting there. I mean, it's cool to clown once in a while, but man, have a debate, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it popping, son. Like, you know, stop egging him on when you know he's gonna spaz out. He's already straw man in the position. He's already making things more extreme than it already is. So don't egg him on. Well, that's it for this video, guys. You know what I'm saying? Put a like, comment, you know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? Blessed Mindset. We here, man, you know what I'm saying? Mastermind Academy, baby. So tap in, baby. Peace out, man. Thank y'all for watching.